My name is Bolaji Akemi. I want to welcome you to Kalate World Outreach, having a special program called the VAEC program. It's all about raising kingdom financier. I just thought it wise to prepare you for what to expect. Kingdom financier. At a time like this, I believe there's no better program for you to attend and be a part of online than this program. Wonderful speakers are put together from all across the globe to enrich you and prepare you for a life of productivity. I want you to take advantage of the program. There are few things I want to share with you about raising kingdom financier. The first thing you need to know is that everyone is a potential kingdom financier. That is the way. My name is Bolaji Akemi. I want to welcome you to Kalate World Outreach, having a special program called the VAEC program. It's all about raising kingdom financier. I just thought it wise to prepare you for what to expect. Kingdom financier. At a time like this, I believe there's no better program for you to attend and be a part of online than this program. Wonderful speakers are put together from all across the globe to enrich you and prepare you for a life of productivity. I want you to take advantage of the program. There are few things I want to share with you about raising kingdom financier. The first thing you need to know is that everyone is a potential kingdom financier. That is the way God detailed it to be. In Genesis chapter 1 and verse 29, the Bible was talking about what God said. He said, "And God said, behold, I have given you every herb's bearing seed." Take note of it. Every herb's bearing seed, which is upon the face of all the earth, and every tree in the which is the fruit of a tree yielding seed. To you it shall be a meat. The herbs had seed, the fruit had seed. God was pointing something out to man. If you go back to verse 28, the 28th verse was talking about, and God blessed them, and God said, "Be fruitful, multiply, replenish the earth, and have dominion." In verse 29, it was telling them about the secret of the dominion. It is in the seed of the things that you are given. Everything that God had given to you has a seed. The seed is meant to be invested. The seed is meant to be given. The seed is meant to be planted. So God said, "I have given every man a potential that is required for him or her to be able to maximize life." Now, so every one of us is a potential kingdom financier. There's something that God had given to you in form of a seed, which you can invest to bring return and thereafter be able to expand the kingdom. But not everyone can expand the kingdom. It takes having a heart for the kingdom for you to be able to play your role as God has mandated you to be able to enrich humanity and fulfill the purpose of God. Now, what does it mean to have a heart for God? In Luke chapter 12 and verse 34, the Bible said, "For where your treasure is, there will your heart also be." Now, what is your treasure? Your treasure necessarily does not have to mean money. There is a seed that God has given to you. The potential, something that God had deposited in you. It could be a talent. It could be a skill. Whatever it is that God has given to you is a seed. It is meant to be invested. That is your treasure. The Bible said, "Where the treasure of a man," he said, "there will his heart be also." Let me ask you, where lies your investment? Your singing chorus that God gives to you. What type of songs are you using it to sing? Because where you throw it, where you invest it, that is where your heart will be. It goes to mean that wherever you put your seed is where your heart will lie. So if you are fond of planting your seed in the kingdom, there is a tie between you and the kingdom. So everyone is giving something, but not everyone will be a kingdom financier. Not everyone will be towards the kingdom. So there is an effort on your part that must be made for you to be a kingdom financier. What is the part that you have to make? What is the effort that is required of you? Whatever it is that you have must be given towards the kingdom. Now, for you to be an effective kingdom financier, you also must understand that there is the need for covenant understanding and commitment. The need for you to have covenant understanding and commitment. It's intriguing to know that Jesus says something in Luke chapter 12 and verse 24. He said, "Consider the ravens, for they neither sow nor reap, which neither have storehouses nor barn, and God feedeth them. How much more are ye not better than the fowls?" Now this was Jesus speaking in this, and he was asking us to look at the ravens, asking man to take a lesson from the ravens. Why would Jesus ask us to take a lesson from the ravens? If we read from the beginning of that part, he has talked about a man whose ground brought so much, a man who invested the seed and so much came to him. And the Bible said about that man, he was a self-centered man, he was a selfish man. All he was concerned about after the harvest was high. God gave him a bountiful harvest that far outweighed the quality of the seed that he sowed. How do I know that? The Bible said when the harvest came, he had to break down his barn and abandon the storehouses because the harvest was more than what he prepared for. And so many people also have blessed out of life. But not everyone blessed out of life are giving back to the kingdom or are able to acknowledge that God is the giver of whatever it is that they have received. And Jesus said, "Consider the ravens, who do not sow nor reap." Why? Because in Genesis chapter 8 and verse 22, the Bible says, "While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest time." Remember, before the fall, God in Genesis chapter 1 verse 29 said, "I have given you seed." After the fall and the wiping out of the first earth and the second opportunity given to Noah, God emphatically said, "While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest time shall not cease." Now, that is a golden rule. That is a natural law. That is a principle. Whether you are born again or you are not born again, it is binding on everyone who is on this side of time. Now, Jesus was now saying that principle, that covenant that is existing between man and God is not extended to the ravens. Now, ravens has been able to keep their estate, but man had not been able to keep his own estate. The estate of man is to understand this principle of life, that it takes the sowing of seed to command and harvest. But what is the differences between the estate of man and the estate of the ravens? That God wants us, that Jesus precisely will want us to learn from the ravens. Now, we cannot understand this except we take a look at the book of Job 38 and verse 41. In Job 38 and verse 41, the Bible said, "Who provided the ravens its food, when his young one cried unto God, they wander for lack or for want of meat." Now, ravens are carnivorous birds. They eat flesh. But unfortunately, God, who created the ravens exactly to look like the eagle, with claws, with beak, deprived the ravens of the ability to hunt. He created the eagle with so much expertise and skill when it comes to hunting. The eagle can be at 10,000 feet above the sea level. 10,000 feet above the sea level. And from that height, spot a rat and come down from that height to pick up the prey. That was the skill. He has the ability to be traveling at 150 kilometers per hour and make a sharp turn